You are watching AYV Television.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on your home of credible, factual and balanced news, AYV Television and Radio. I am Tholoma Sumah. Here are the headlines for tonight.
The United Nations Population Fund has urged parliamentarians to harmonize laws dealing with reproductive rights and the protection of girls.
The primary role of the SLPAG is to coordinate and advocate for legislation.
The Africa Young Voices Media Empire has signed a memorandum of understanding with DJK Productions to stage the next talent icon reality TV show.
That's how we can help you to pull this together. This is what we've been telling Sahelians.
The manager product certification at the Sahelian Standards Bureau Tamba Commander has warned marketers that are in the habit of selling expired goods to cease.
So what we are doing now, we are forming a very robust team in collaboration with other partners.
Now for the full news with Tholoma Sumah.
The United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, has urged parliamentarians to harmonize laws dealing with reproductive rights and the protection of girls. Dr. Kim Eva Dixon made the call during the launch of the State of the World Population Report. Mohamed Jawad Nyale has more.
This report was launched in Parliament this year to influence lawmakers to act on laws dealing with reproductive rights. 30% of women in Sierra Leone do not have access or knowledge to family planning tools. Festus Lansana is the chair of the parliamentary group on population and development.
The primary role of the SLPAG is to coordinate and advocate for legislation, policies and actions in addressing the challenges of population-related issues like migration, urbanization, early marriages, maternal and child mortality, which mostly affect young people. Overpopulation is a concern in most underdeveloped and developing countries like Sierra Leone. The poverty rate is high due to inadequate resources and low GDPs, which results in social services becoming inadequate as well. Women and children suffer the most when social services fail. This affects the mortality rate, teenage pregnancy, poverty, and migration, which becomes a challenge.
During her statement, the country representative of UNFPA said the report shows decline and growth in different areas. According to the report, 43 countries in the world have 4 or more fertility rates, and 38 of those countries are in Africa. But why are these numbers relevant?
Of the world. What the report does is broaden the definition of reproductive rights and choices to encompass factors that should enable individuals and couples to freely and responsibly make their own decisions. So it's not about...
The Africa Young Voices Media Empire has signed a memorandum of understanding with DJK Production to stage the next Talent Icon reality TV show. Khadija Kuruma is the Chief Executive Officer of the DJK Production. She said the African Young Voices Media Empire has given them a platform to showcase all the young talents in the country. Ejatuja has more.
Youth empowerment is one way that the Africa Young Voices Media Empire aims to promote youths in the country. The managing director of the Africa Young Voices Media Empire, Dr. Ezekiel Duramani Lako, had this to say about the signing.
So for AYV, we're not looking at the money component right now. We're looking at how we can help you to pull this together. This is what we've been telling Sahelians. And we have several things coming up. So if you are, we always call on people to come. So this is an entertainment show that's going to help to promote hundreds of Sahelians right across. So Dija, we want to give you the assurance. First of all, there is something that we have hundreds of MOUs that we are putting together. We have lots of shows going on currently, and we've never disappointed anybody. So what we sign, what is here, that's why it takes time. It takes more than 3 months for you to sign this with us.
Right.
The reason is we want to commit ourselves to whatever we say.
The Chief Executive Officer of DJK Production, Khadija Tholoma, explains the importance of the signing to their production.
Of course, we've worked together before, and we started this this particular talent show in 2016. But by then it was Next Music Icon. It was just for music, for singing and rapping. But now we've decided to expand it to every talent, any talent you have. If you are a comedian, a musician, or a dancer, anything you can do, something that is talent. So we decided to expand it, and now we also agreed to make it official. So this MOU means a lot to me. It means so much to all of us, because this is the foundation of this great show.
As young people of Sierra Leone continue to strive to create a better life for themselves, the Africa Young Voices Media Empire continues to create a platform for young people to reach their goals. Ija Tuja, AYV News, Freetown.
The manager product certification at the Sierra Leone Standards Bureau, Tamba Commander, has warned marketers that are in the habit of selling expired goods to desist from it. Tamba Commander said that the Bureau will use the law against anyone caught selling expired goods in the country. Christopher Kewu has more.
Yeah, we've had complaints in the past from consumer protection agencies that this practice is going on. And then we have visited quite 1 or 2 places. We've confiscated 1 or 2 products, but the complaints still continue coming. So what we are doing now, we are forming a very robust team in collaboration with other partners, so that we go after those who are actually stamping these products. And this is very bad. I want everybody to know that extending shelf life, that's expiry dates on products, is a crime. If you do that, your goods will be confiscated and you'll be liable to prosecution. Yeah, okay, first I would say is sensitization. Maybe some of them is out of ignorance, or some of them is just that people are in the habit of trading in very substandard products. But I think the first approach is to mount up a very robust sensitization countrywide to tell them about the effects, all right, of doing some of these things. Because when products are expired, you don't have the right to extend the shelf life. Because when you do that, it will be harmful to the consumer, all right? Some of these will cause diseases, and some of the products can even cause cancer, all right? So we are actually asking on traders to desist from this kind of practice. Okay, so we appeal to everybody to involve in fair trade practice. Okay?
The Acts of Freetown, as many will call it, PZ for short, but it's called Patterson Zokoni. And I'm standing right there. I'm holding on to more things. And the Consumer Protection Agency, and together with Standards Bureau, are working hand in glove to ensure that they curtail the act of selling expired goods. But I'm holding on to one, and it's less than 7 days to the end of its lifespan. Will they win the fight against this selling of expired goods? Christopher Keru, AYV News.
The National Grand Coalition has started the celebration of its 1-year anniversary by observing the Friday prayers at the Freetown Central Mosque. The leadership of Parliament and opposition leader were in attendance. Let's take a look at the highlights.
The leadership of Salon Capri today. And I want to tell me, brother, they take you with take me invitation. I want phone call number, they all say that they come. And waiting the Imam saying that true. Now one grand salon we get also so. Today, and that's me well. Politics will not get for me by all team. Or not for me enemy. And that's one show today. APC, SLPP, NDC, they say all the above. Because now one grand salon. Peace, stability, and progress, and jobs for all of us. There is a man we are not going to see. We need that. Honorable Sumah. anything where government want to, I ain't get for voting in a parliament. If we say no, they're not able to. But I'm always submit, talk to me, how would they say yes? Honorable CD Tunis, that you need all the opposition. If that morning day is not glad with anybody, if he say no, that's 68 members again. No, that's Trekman, and Haji Cherno Maju. You need all the we bring one other person here. For sure say this country that that's be well. Politics will not get for people all thing, or not for me enemy. And that's one show today. So what we order big alleged in a lock we get, if all say they are in farm now, they want farmers. The man when they call Dr. Samula Kamara, he said it's there.
Leader of the National Grand Coalition, Dr. Kandekole Yumkela, speaking there. In another news, it could be recalled that over a week ago, 8 soldiers of the Sierra Leone Armed Forces and 4 family members lost their lives in a car accident in Freetown. Several organizations and individuals have expressed sympathy and support in what was described as the biggest tragedy that has met the Sierra Leone Army since the end of the Civil War in 2002. The latest of organization to join is the Indian community. The community has donated 50 million loans to the bereaved family of the car tragedy. Bokari Matia has the story.
During the handing over, the president of the Indian community in Sierra Leone, Dr. Kishore Shakandas, stated that the Indian community decided to donate all in cash because they want the relatives to know what to do with the money and not to determine for them what they should get at this time of grief.
That's irreparable loss, but we as a community would like to donate a small token so that at least the families of the dear departed would at least, it might ease their burden and pain. Originally we had decided to give some cash and kind, but this time we said let's make it all in cash, because if we give kind, it may not be what they really want. But if we give them cash, then they will know what to do with it. They can decide what's the preference. So on behalf of the Indian Mercantile Association and the Indian community, it's my pleasure to give a cash check of 50 million dirhams.
General Charles Tom Commander is the Master of Public Sector Management at the Ministry of Defense. He received the check on behalf of the bereaved family and thanked the Indian community for this timely gesture.
We know it was a very tragic and painful episode. We are all praying that it doesn't occur so soon again in the history of our staff. But one thing we really observed again, just like it often happens, when you have challenges, that's the time you know the people who really value you. Since this accident occurred, we've had lots of calls, lots of sympathies, lots of support from across the country, and we are grateful. And we are particularly pleased that the Indian community have come again, not just to say sorry to us, but to help support those that were left behind by the period.
This is part of consoling the families of the fallen heroes who lost their lives in serving the country. Bokari Matia, AYV News, Freetown.
AMNET has launched a project to send 40 teenage mothers back to school after being dropped out of school. The project is a 4-year project aimed at resuscitating these girls and be self-reliant in future. The project was launched at the YWCA Conference Hall, Brookfields in Freetown. Here is the report.
The project is titled A Second Chance Back to School and is targeting Dwazak and Susans Bay communities. This project, according to the Chief Executive Officer for AMNET, Tholoma Sumah, is to give a second chance to education for the teenage mothers. Tholoma Sumah said everything is not lost just because they have given birth. She therefore called on them to focus on their future.
For land book, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Just imagine now you come up class, you get for help you mama and papa cook. When you done back, you get for take book and next to do assignments. And then they stop at the assignment, you get for study back. do it for 2 or 3 years. After that, you don't graduate. When you don't graduate, you go become comfortable in your job. The new side where you go find yourself, where you go not work, and you're able for add value to your family. And so by that time, somebody will see you and say, you know, see, no get scholarship, make you take the next level. Make it go improve in our life. Make it become somebody big in our life. Destiny can call.
Giving an overview of the project, the Child Protection Officer for Amnet, Brahma Conte, said their studies shows that teenage pregnancy is on the increase, leading to dropouts. He said that is why they designed a short project. He speaks on the package of the project.
One of the things also the children say, in year 1, there were low targets, 40 pikin at Dwazak, 40 pikin at Susan's Bay. Out of them 40 there were low pilots 20 from the community they are, go they send back to school. The program there in 2 ways. Pikin and they will they opt for go into vocational studies, pikin and they opt for go back to the formal school.
The launch of the project was witnessed by local chiefs, parents, and representatives from the Education Ministry, Social Welfare Ministry, and the Sierra Leone Police, among others. They admonished the beneficiaries to take advantage of the project, adding that they can be great again with determination. Tholoma Sumah, AYV News, Freetown.
Koidu District Referral Hospital has over the years faced serious criticisms for its poor healthcare services in the country. Lately, this major health facility in the Eastern District of Kono has been making significant progress to change from its worst state to a modern health facility. Jibril Goto has the story.
Out of every 1,000 Sierra Leoneans, about 459 of them died before the age of 60. And out of every 1,000 live births, about 185 died before the age of 5. Most of these deaths stem from avoidable and curable illnesses. What has Partners in Health done to aid this situation in Eastern Sierra Leone? John Lasher is the Executive Director of Partners in Health in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, well, as a nonprofit, as a non-governmental organization working side by side with the Ministry of Health, we've been working to improve the health system here in Kono District. It's a district of over 500,000 people with one referral hospital, which is Koidu Government Hospital. So over the last 3 years, we've been partnering with the medical administration here at the hospital and the district health management team and the Ministry of Health and Sanitation at the national level to really invest our resources into improving this hospital.
The Koidu Government Hospital is seeking to give a quality healthcare service to the people of Kono, but the hospital still continues to grapple with problems of ambulance availability and electricity, which are essential commodities to health development. Dr. Gerald Young is the district medical officer.
You know, we are challenged with ambulances in the district due to the terrain and the age of the vehicles. So there are times you have complete breakdown of those vehicles, and when you are called, then you can't do anything. So to prevent deaths that should be preventable, we look around, and the only organization we call is PIH.
During a courtesy visit to the district and city councils, contributions were made by several duty bearers in the district, including the mayor of Koidu City Council, Kono District Council, and many others, all applauding the good work of partners.
The IMAT College Law Department, in support with the Open Society Initiative for West Africa, has organized their first street law community education program for secondary schools in Sierra Leone. The purpose of this program is to promote legal and civic education in Sierra Leone. As part of these engagements, they admonished the pupils on the Child Rights Act of 2007. Desmond Silla has more.
As the saying goes, charity begins at home. The IMAT College did their first outreach at the IMAT Secondary School. Communities and secondary schools are specifically targeted to ensure that the grassroots of Sierra Leone's population are legally inclined. Mr. Alphaba explained to the pupils on the rights of the child in Sierra Leone.
For you to know your rights and responsibility. So according to the Child Rights Act, they define who is a child. A child is someone who is under the age of 18. A child is someone who is under the age of 18. So the Child Rights Act provides for people who are under the age of 18. So from 17 below.
The principal of the IMAT Secondary School, Mrs. Princella Bull, emphasizes on the necessity of the legal and civic community program and its relevance in school.
It is necessary for them to know what they are entitled to and what they have to do also, because we have had several cases of child abuse in Sierra Leone, and it is good for the children to be able to be aware, and then they will be able to bring such cases to the notice of the appropriate authorities. So I would really endorse your going to all the schools in the country, in fact, so that the program will be shared to all of them, and through that, more children and even adults will be able to understand the roles and responsibilities, or the rights and responsibilities of children.
The IMAT College's goal is to help the layman to have an understanding of how the law operates. This is to ensure that every Sierra Leonean knows what the laws say in order to reduce crime rates in the country. Desmond Silla, AYV News, Freetown.
This is Primetime News on AYV Television and Radio. Stay with us through the break. We shall be right back.
Not now. I promised to top up EDSA today.
Stop complaining and use your AfriCell line to buy us EDSA.
My AfriCell line? AfriCell?
Oh yes! With your AfriCell line. To buy EDSA, simply dial *161# to access your AfriCell money account and choose bill payment. Then select EDSA recharge. Enter your meter number, enter the amount you want to pay, and then enter your AfriCell money PIN to confirm your transaction.
But how can I refuel my AfriCell money account?
You can top up your AfriCell money account with no extra charges from any AfriCell outlet near you, or simply at any shop or bank where you see a sign that says AfriCell money available here. Buy EDSA now straight from your AfriCell money account at the cheapest cost ever. A price nobody dares to match.
AfriCell, Norway Network.
Welcome back. This is Primetime News, reaching you live on AYV Television and Radio. We now join our team in McKinney for more news from that part of the country.
Yeah, thank you, our viewers and our listeners across the country and the world over. This is Provincial Primetime News here live at our AYV TV newsroom in McKinney, presenting top news stories making the news across the north for today. The Ministry of Agriculture District Office here in Bombale has made a symbolic harvest at its experimental plot in McKinney. The harvesting, which comprises improved variety of rice, aims at increasing both production and productivity of its staple food across the district, and at the same time serve as a catalyst of motivation to rice farmers. Let's now join our reporter Idrissa Jerry, who has been following this harvesting ceremony.
District level Ministry of Agriculture has already done something that will motivate local farmers to increase our local staple food in the country. Let's have a glimpse of it, how it all unfolds here in McKinney.
All right, thank you. One for tell farmers, they say one, they're able to plant 2 times for year or 3 times for year, depending on the type of swamp you get. Perennial swamps, and you can plant 3 times.
Which one are the perennial swamps?
The one where they plant water day throughout the year. The one where water day sometimes of the year, sometimes say by February, the swamp go down dry. Then you go able to plant 1 time or 2 times, then you plant vegetables and they afterwards.
For let me say, the kind where I can see this rest,
That myself, they go with the message to me. Farmers, they wait and they under me.
Then you hold them back, they come over, you answer.
This is exactly what the ministry has been engaging to demotivating the fact of not increasing our local food here in Makeni. For AYV Primetime News, I am Idris Ajeri reporting live from Makeni.
Easy Solar, a distributor and financier of a clean, available and affordable solar energy products for low and middle class households on a rent-to-own financing system through pay-as-you-go technology across the region, has together with its partners electrified the Oslo War Wounded amputee camp in Makeni. The call for lights and other basic amenities for this vulnerable but deprived community has been long drawn.
And as we've got to know them, we've got to understand their challenges more and more. And Easy Solar offered a really affordable way to bring electricity into their homes and help them sort of start solving some of the problems they have in day-to-day life, especially at night.
You know, the lights they are old and they now quick. People remember the battery don't want it. The battery don't solve what's happening. They come up and you don't put the light and back. You know the thing. So we'll be the struggle, we'll be the suffer. We'll begin to study. You know, we say we'll be limited to danger. Because inside we outside, we room there. We want for walk around, we want for do something around. We're afraid, you know, because the place dark. So we thought of this, we limited to danger. So since we got the light here, if I tell you true, now the beginning they ask I can, then they run. The beginning they get time for study. Last year, this year, what result come on? Let me tell you, the beginning result, most of the excellence if I tell you the truth, because of they get a light when they study with.
Yes, this is not the first time we don't work with Enable, and for able to support the amputees communities in this part of the country, we don't engage them now at Sky Camp. When you go at Sky Camp, the place is fully light up. Oslo Camp, we get a contract with them for we install 41 home systems. Within our home system now, 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom lights, then each of the household, then the 41 household, then they come, and each of them products, then package, then get solar radio. They also get solar lantern. They also get charging pins and other things. Then.
In another news, about 40 farmers from different districts across the region have been trained on honey processing, a training that was jointly organized by KUPI, an international non-governmental organization in concert with the Agriculture Ministry here in the region, was to educate farmers on the importance of managing and processing honeybees for economic purposes. Augusta Ethel Toure has more on this story.
In order to give an insight of honey processing to farmers, about 40 have been trained on this by KUPI International and the Agriculture Ministry. Dr. Kwame Edo is the Director for Bees for Development in Ghana, and he spoke on the expected outcome on the training.
I'm expecting that what I've taught them, which I have reminded them over and over again, to go back, set their boxes, keep their cashew farms clean, put red ants on the cashew trees so pests will be controlled biologically, not spraying with chemicals. Then they should keep the bees, and the bees should pollinate their crops. And at the end of it, they should make very good harvest and become rich and not poor.
Abdul Karim Kamara is from KUPI, and he explained about the training exercise.
We invited our farmers, 50 farmers from Potloko, Cambia and Makeni, on a 3-day session, how to integrate beekeeping activities into their cashew farms. For your
AYV Primetime News in Makeni, I am Augusta Ethel Toure reporting.
Alright, our viewers and our listeners, and that's it for this edition of our Provincial Primetime News here live at our AYV TV newsroom in Makeni, Peking, on top news stories making the news across the north. And on behalf of the team, I am Amadou Kamara. I'll now hand you back to our colleagues in Freetown.
Thanks to Amadou and the entire team in Makeni for those stories. Let's now go to Africa for some more news. And for that, we start with Nigeria. A video showing an elephant being hunted in a conservancy in Namibia is being widely shared online, with many expressing their anger. The video shows 2 men aiming at rifles at a herd of elephants.
One of the men can be heard saying, "Eat it between the eyes," before the both opened fire, hitting one elephant, said to be a bull. That elephant then collapses. prompting the rest of the herd to charge at the hunters. They avoid being chased or crushed by shooting at the elephants. The video is 3 or 4 years old, according to a Namibian-based qualified big game hunter, Krum Kuga. I don't know why it's only surfaces now, he told News 24. Game hunting is legal in Namibia.
Ethiopian politician tries to free custody. The former powerful president of Ethiopia's Somali region attempted to escape police custody on Friday by climbing through a window ahead of a court appearance, state-linked Fana Broadcasting Corporation's reports.
Abdi Mohamed Omar has been kept in a separate office for safety reasons. Fana reports, but he attempted to escape by smashing a window. In his escape attempt, he broke a window before choking a member of the police force. News agency Reuters report, quoting a police statement. Mr. Omar, however, denied the allegations. He was forced to resign on the 6th of August and arrested a week later after violence broke out in the regional capital, Jiga. At least 20 people died and thousands fled Jiga as mob looted properties owned by ethnic minority and burned down several Ethiopian Orthodox churches. During the outbreak of violence in August, Mr. Omar is alleged to have overseen widespread rights abuse, including torture, rape, and killing during his 13 years rule. He, however, denied the allegations.
That's all we can take on news around the continent. Let's now join our team in London for more international news.
Thank you, Freetown. I'm Alpha Jallo with the major international news. The UK Prime Minister Theresa May will address our fellow EU leaders this week as she seeks to ensure a Brexit deal is struck. May will give the UK government's assessment of the negotiations before our 27 European counterparts break off to discuss how to approach the remaining talks.
First of all, what we're going to be discussing over the next few days, I and my European counterparts, are some of the issues that face us now and into the future, issues such as migration, how we counter new and emerging threats to our security. Of course, this Council also coincides with the Asia-Europe meeting, and I'm looking forward to discussing the opportunities that presents and those global opportunities with the leaders who will be being welcomed here to Europe. On the issue of our leaving the European Union, I will be talking to leaders tonight about the very good progress that has been made since Salzburg, both on the withdrawal agreement and our future partnership. The teams have been working very hard in order to ensure that we can address these issues. What we've seen is that we've solved most of the issues in withdrawal agreement. There is still the question of the Northern Irish backstop, but I believe everybody around the table wants to get a deal. By working intensively and closely, we can achieve that deal. I believe a deal is achievable, and now is the time to make it happen.
The Labour Party leadership has said they will not be asked to support either May's deal or no deal. Instead, the party would focus on demanding a general election should May return without a proposal Labour felt it could get behind. Reports have indicated that at least 13 people have died after a violent rainstorm turned rivers into raging torrents in southwest France in the latest episode of wild weather in Europe. Flash floods swamped a number of towns and villages, leaving a trail of overturned cars, damaged roads, and collapsed homes. The French Interior Ministry said 13 people had died after the equivalent of 3 months' rainfall in a few hours. Authorities responded with helicopters and 600 firefighters to help with rescue operations.
J'ai appelé les pompiers, c'est arrivé vraiment très très vite, pas eu le temps de réagir. Donc c'est comme une vague qui est arrivée sur la porte d'entrée. Toute la maison a été inondée, j'avais de l'eau jusqu'à mi-cuisse.
Oh, je regardais par la fenêtre tout ça et je dis depuis ça s'aggravait quoi. Je voyais l'eau monter, je dis ça va pas ça. L'eau est arrivée au niveau de la serrure. Là. Vous voyez? Là, elle arrive l'eau.
Elsewhere, 28 people were left with minor injuries and hundreds of thousands without power as violent storms hit Portugal on Sunday, resulting in flooding in the region around Lisbon. last week. An unrelated weather system moving across the Mediterranean killed 12 people in Mallorca and another 2 in southeast France. Humanitarian workers have condemned an airstrike by the Saudi-led coalition targeting Yemen's Shiite rebels that repeatedly killed at least 15 civilians near the city of Hodeida. Yemeni Houthis officials said the airstrike also wounded 20 people. The UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs called the incident horrific. Saudi Arabia and its allies intervened in Yemen in 2015 to support President Hadi's government after the Houthis rebel hosted it from the capital Sana'a and large areas of the country's north. The coalition has used air power to host the rebels from much of the country's south, but the Houthis have held on to Sana'a and the key Red Sea port of Hodeida. The coalition has drawn heavy UN criticism for the high civilian death toll from its campaign in Yemen. Yemen's war has left almost 13,000 people dead, mostly civilians, since the coalition intervened in 2015 and sparked what the UN has labeled the worst humanitarian crisis. This is it for now. You have been watching international news with me, Alpha Jallo from London. Now let me hand you back to our team in Freetown.
Thanks to Alpha Jallo and the entire team in London. Now in sports, Gambia Football Federation (GFF) has written a formal complaint to the Federation of African Football over the eligibility of Togo's Adeole Olufade, whose name is also written as James, played for Togo as they drew 1-1 with the Gambia in an African Cup of Nations qualifier on the 12th October. Our reporter, Mohamed Abu Conte, has more.
James Ali Woli Ofedi, he was not on the team sheet for Tuesday returns match, which Togo won by a lone goal to 0, but did not take part in the game. The Gambian Football Federation has now protested that the player is a Nigerian and does not meet the necessary criteria to play for Togo. The letter from the GFF states that the player is a Nigerian and also highlights the discrepancies in his name. In the match formed by the Togo, his name is listed Adewale Ofedi, but in the CAF system, he is registered as James Adewale Ofedi and his date of birth as the 21st August 1994. The protest stated, under the FIFA regulation, a player must fulfill 4 criteria to play for a national team if they choose to change nationality. He was born of the territory of the relevant association. His biological mother or biological father was born on the territory of the relevant association. His grandfather or grandmother was born on the territory of the relevant association. He has lived continuously for at least 5 years after reaching the age of 18 on the territory of a relevant association. The 24-year-old has played club football in both Togo and Cameroon. He made his international debut in a 0-0 draw with Benin in September 2018. For AYV'S Sports, Mohamed Abu Conte reporting in Freetown.
As we plan for our blessed Saturday, let's take a look at the weather forecast brought to you courtesy of AYV'S.
Hi, I'm Elodie Nicole and I'll be covering your daily weather powered by AYV'S. I will be covering the Salone weather. Now let's take a look at the weather for tonight. Let's start in Freetown, where it will be cloudy during the night with rain at 24 degrees. Over at Kaimbu, we'll see a couple of clouds with rain at 23 degrees. Moving to the northern city of Makeni, there is a cluster of clouds during the night at 22 degrees. Now in Konadougou, we'll experience a cloudy sky with rain at 19 degrees. And over in Koidou, expect a cloudy sky and rain during the night at 20 degrees. Through the night, Kenema will see a cloudy sky with heavy showers at 21 degrees. As we move over to Bo, we'll see heavy clouds and rain in the evening at 21 degrees. Down south in Mokaba, there'll be heavy clouds at 23 degrees. Now let's take a flight over Sierra Leone for tomorrow's weather. Expect an overcast of clouds and shower in the day in Buer Town at 27 degrees. Over in Nusa, we have a rather cloudy day with rain at 28 degrees. Matotoka will also be cloudy with rain at 25 degrees. And in the town of Bombona, we'll see heavy clouds with downpours at 27 degrees. Over at Miyama, we'll also have clouds and rain at 27 degrees. Kailahun will have a cloudy sky with a morning shower at 28 degrees. Folks at Zimi will have a clouded sky with a shower in the afternoon at 27 degrees. Heavy clouds and rain expected in Mombibi at 25 degrees. It will be a cloudy day in Moyamba with thunder and rain at 26 degrees. And finally, Freetown will experience heavy clouds with rain at 27 degrees. Checking out the wind for tomorrow. Wind will be moving southwest at 9 km per hour. Humidity is at 77%. Sea state is high and the sea temperature is at 20 degrees. Let's take a look at our 4-day forecast. Saturday will be mostly cloudy with showers during the entire day at a high of 28 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. Sunday will also face a mostly cloudy day with showers throughout the day at a high of 27 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. Monday will have a morning shower and will be cloudy throughout the day at a high of 28 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. Tuesday will experience a cloudy day with rain and thunder in spots early at a high of 29 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. That is all we have for you today on the Daily Weather powered by AfriCell. Do not forget to join us tomorrow same time on channel 33 AYV TV. I'm Elodie Nicole signing off. God bless you.
Thanks to Elodie Nicole for the weather forecast brought to you courtesy of AfriCell. This is the end of Primetime News tonight. Keep sending your messages to us via email to info@ayvnews.com. You can also connect with us online on www.ayvnews.com or download the AYV app from your app store. We will be back again tomorrow with the top stories from across the country, the continent and the world. My name is Tholoma Sumah. Thanks for watching and listening.
You're watching AYV Television.